What's up, guys? Teddy Striker here, and this week is the final week of UFC 293, headlined by Israel Adesanya and Sean Strickland. And in this video, I want to talk about how Sean Strickland can beat Israel Adesanya. I'm not saying that he will, but I'm just saying that, if he implies some of these things, that, if I was personally Eric Nixick, his head coach, I'll probably tell him to do some of these things, but we'll see what happens on the fight. Sean Strickland, he's being underestimated, but he has a good chance of winning this fight. Any fighter that goes in there has a good chance of winning. So I'm not just going to, count him out or anything. This is a live dog. We've seen the last pay-per-view with Sean O'Malley. He was a live dog, but either way, I'm going to get straight into it. And I think the first thing that Sean Strickland is going to need to do to beat Israel Adesanya is put the pressure on him, because, we've seen fighters who just kind of stay at long range, stay on the outside with Adesanya. We've seen Robert Whittaker do that, Jared Cannonier, and Marvin Vettori. And, when you do that, it's not going to be an exciting fight. You're just going to get pieced up at range, because Adesanya, being the taller and longer fighter, it's going to make it more easier, because when you're just in open space, the taller fighter can hit you and he can always move out of the way. And he's going to be able to hit you because of that reach and range. And even if he misses a shot, it's going to be a lot harder for you to counter. You'll have to come into their range. They can step back and counter you like Sean O'Malley did with Aljamain Sterling. So stay on the outside. I really don't see Strickland winning that on the outside. He's gonna lose if he does that. He might get knocked out if he comes in close, but making this a dirty, ugly fight is his best chance of winning this fight. Yeah, so it's gonna be a risk and reward type thing. But Strickland wants to win. He's gonna have to get hit, and he's gonna have to hit Adesanya and be relentless in there. And I know he doesn't have the best chin, but he's got some pretty good defense. So if he can pair those things together, I think he can put something together. Now, the second thing I'm going to say is for him to land that jab, because his jab is his best weapon by far, and that allows him to set up combos that, fit the same combos that finished Abus Magomedov, or the combos that finished Brandon Allen. So I'm not saying he's got that type of power to finish Adesanya, but if he's able to string some combos together, he can win moments of the fight, and that can lead to more success later on, and can lead to potentially wearing on Adesanya if he's able to land those shots. But obviously, he's going to have to be very, very accurate, because we've seen guys like Paulo Costa and Robert Whittaker try to land jabs on Adesanya. For Whittaker in the first fight, and Costa in their fight, Adesanya slipped a jab, and then he threw an overhand and then left hook and knocked him out. Whittaker, he was kind of using that jab to set up that right hand, but Adesanya was getting his head out the way and countering back with hooks. So then Whittaker kind of doubled up his jab in the rematch, or tripled it and mixed it up with single jabs. So Strickland is going to have to play with it too. He can't just throw one jab out there. He's going to have to throw multiple if he doesn't want to get countered. Feinted as well. Even go to the body with it as well. Not just go for the head, but mix in with some body jabs. And the third thing I'm going to say is, this isn't something that Sean Strickland usually does, but if he does in this fight, I think it could benefit him a lot, considering that he's going to have to be the one going forward and trying to catch Adesanya. So I think that Sean Strickland should throw leg kicks of his own. He's usually just throwing hands, some front kicks here and there, and that's pretty much his striking arsenal. But he's gonna have to mix it up in this fight if he wants to be the world champion. And it would be really good to cut off Adesanya's movement. Obviously, we've seen Alex Pereira with his leg kicks. He was able to really compromise Israel Adesanya. Same with Jan Blachowicz, but he kind of did it through checking Adesanya's leg kicks. And I know Strickland's probably not going to try to defend him as well, but And in the later point, I'll talk about that. But for now, I'm going to say, yeah, use those leg kicks. He's even been training with Alex Pereira. So who knows? Maybe Pereira taught him how to throw that weird leg kick he throws that is so devastating. But maybe he didn't. But either way, Strickland wants to have success. He's probably not going to be able to land his jab early. You want to slow his movement down. You want to get a stationary target, place him in front of you, throw those leg kicks, land them, throw them. Adesanya has a wide stance too, so it's going to be open relatively often, and depends on how quick Strickland throws his leg kicks. He's not used to throwing them, so it might be a bit easier for Adesanya to read, but it's always good to mix it up. Now, the fourth thing I'm going to say for Strickland to do is to check Adesanya's leg kicks. Israel Adesanya has some of the best leg kicks in the UFC, and Strickland has some of the worst leg kicking defense in the UFC. So, when you think about it, that'd be a nightmare for Sean Strickland, but he's had some time to prepare. So it's one of the major weapons of Adesanya that he is going to have to counter is the leg kicks. He's probably not going to be able to land some of those other kicks if he can't land those leg kicks as well. So a big part of his offense comes from his leg kicks. Like we saw in the young Blachowicz fight, he wasn't as effective because Blachowicz was defending a lot of those kicks and, not reacting to those swings effectively. And Strickland is going to have to be careful. He does not want to get his leg chewed up or anything because he cannot fight out the southpaw stance. We've only seen him fight in the orthodox. Maybe he could fight on the southpaw stance and that might throw Adesanya off. But he's definitely not going to have the same level of defense that he has in the orthodox stance and that same type of awareness in general. So it's best for him to, really emphasize defending those leg kicks. But the last one I'm going to say is something that Strickland should have done versus Alex Pereira, and that's to grapple. I don't get why he wouldn't actually I kind of do. It's just because of his pride and ego that he just wanted to prove that he could do the man dance of a really, really high level kickboxer. But if he has the same mentality in this fight and he doesn't try to at least level change, I don't think he's going to have that much success in there. Adesanya has been shown that, he can still be taken down. He's not he doesn't have 100% takedown defense or anything. It's so possible. And Sean Strickland, in my opinion, has some underrated grappling. So just go for it, just mix it up. This isn't just it's a whatever fight. This is the biggest fight of his career. And it might be his one and only shot at being the champion of the world. So in my opinion, I think that Sean Strickland's going to have to do it. Going to have to do whatever it takes to win this fight. But I'm going to go back over what I said he needs to do. Number 1, put the pressure on Adesanya. Number 2, utilize that jab. Number 3, use leg kicks. Number 4, defend Adesanya's leg kicks. And number 5, grapple. Use your grappling. We'll see what happens if Sean Strickland does this or does not, but I'm excited for this fight.